Good Friday evening, February 7th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. Moses Lake police are looking for a snatch-and-run thief who escaped from Sportsman's warehouse with a stolen handgun. Yakima police arrested a Quincy man yesterday as part of a controlled substance homicide investigation in his home county. A light dusting of snow is possible Saturday with much colder Arctic air arriving next week. I'll have your local weather forecast coming up. A dozen people were displaced Thursday night after fire damaged a Wenatchee apartment building. The fire broke out shortly after 7 p.m. in the 400 block of King Street, where crews arrived to discover fire on the exterior of two apartments in a 5-unit building. Chief Brian Brett with the Wenatchee Valley Fire Department said no one was inside the 2 units and no one was injured, but all occupants had to be evacuated from the remaining 3 apartments, and flames then spread to an adjacent building. The 12 residents were referred to the American Red Cross for shelter assistance. The fire appeared to have started outside the structure. The cause is under investigation. Yesterday, Mission Ridge Ski and Board Resort announced the appointment of Matt Neubauer as general manager. Neubauer is a Washington native with a degree in mass communications from Colorado State University, Pueblo. He relocated to Wenatchee in 2021 with his wife and 2 sons. Neubauer's appointment to general manager comes less than 4 months after the resignation of longtime CEO Josh Jorgensen. However, Jorgensen will continue to be involved in the ski resort's 500-acre expansion plan, which seeks to add a new lodge, townhouses, and more. Moses Lake police are looking for a snatch-and-run thief who escaped from Sportsman's warehouse with a stolen handgun. Police said about 6:30 p.m. last night, the suspect walked into the store on Stratford Road and asked to see a pistol. When an employee handed him the gun for inspection, he allegedly turned and ran out of the store. The firearm was equipped with a trigger lock to make it inoperative. Anyone with information about the suspect, whose picture was captured on surveillance video, they're asked to contact the Moses Lake Police. The annual Wenatchee Valley Empty Bowls event is returning to Pybus Public Market on February 21st. The event raises funds for the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council's Food Distribution Center, which provides food to underserved communities in the Wenatchee Valley. From 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., attendees can gather to paint bowls for a $15 donation per bowl or a $55 donation for 4 bowls. A follow-up event will be held at Wenatchee High School on April 12th, where community members can enjoy a soup meal in the bowl that they painted. When we come back, Yakima police arrested a Quincy man yesterday as part of a controlled substance homicide investigation in his home county. Yakima Bishop Joseph Tyson responded to comments made by Vice President J.D. Vance on immigration in a letter published on February 2nd. And Governor Bob Ferguson is asking the state Senate to put a pause on last-minute appointments to the Fish and Wildlife Commission made by his predecessor. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Central Washington Water is your solution for problem water. Whether you're on a well or municipal water, they can design a clean water system custom to you. Soft water eliminates water spots and scaling on fixtures. It protects appliances from hard water damage, saving you money. Soft water reduces soap usage that causes skin irritation and is a healthier choice to drink. Call for a free in-home consultation or stop by the store to have your water tested. Central Washington Water, your best water solution for home, pool, and spa.
Her Royal Highness, Queen Ella Stimo!
Join NCWLIFE channel for live coverage of the Apple Blossom Festival Royalty Selection Pageant on Saturday, February 8th. Coverage is brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Harvest Valley Pest Control, Merry Maids, Together for Youth, and the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. Join us for live coverage of the Apple Blossom Festival Royalty Selection Pageant on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.
Yakima police arrested a Quincy man yesterday as part of a controlled substance homicide investigation in his home county. 32-year-old Abraham Cristobal Flores Velasquez was wanted by Yakima County's Drug Task Force. Grant County Sheriff's deputies suspect Flores provided the drugs that killed his cousin, 29-year-old Ariel Armas Flores, back in September. Ariel was found dead at a Quincy home from a combination of fentanyl, methamphetamine, and alcohol. Police say his cousin was the last person to see him alive and was cooperating with the investigation. Ariel was one of 13 overdose deaths in Grant County last year and one of 4 that led to criminal charges. Flores remains held in the Grant County Jail. The Washington State Department of Licensing will upgrade its software systems next week, resulting in a temporary shutdown of licensing services in Chelan and Douglas counties and across the state. All licensing offices will be closed February 14th through 17th, and online vehicle, boat, and driver's licensing services will be unavailable from February 10th through February 17th. The system upgrade aims to add security features, enhance customer service, and more. Until the scheduled shutdown, licensing transactions can be done on the Department of Licensing website. Yakima Bishop Joseph Tyson responded to comments made by Vice President J.D. Vance on immigration in a letter published on February 2nd. While on CBS's Face the Nation last month, Vance said the Catholic Church has, quote, not been a good partner in immigration enforcement. Tyson, who spent 6 years leading the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops' efforts on pastoral care for migrants and refugees, denied several of Vance's claims. In his letter, Tyson wrote that every refugee settled by the Catholic Church undergoes a screening of between 12 to 14 months, and the screening is conducted by the federal government. Tyson also said the church receives no money to resettle immigrants, despite Vance's, quote, assertion that the Catholic Church receives hundreds of millions of dollars from the United States to do so. Governor Bob Ferguson is asking the state Senate to put a pause on last-minute appointments to the Fish and Wildlife Commission made by his predecessor. Former Governor Jay Inslee appointed 2 commissioners in his last week in office, one of them replacing Douglas County rancher Molly Linville, who'd served on the Fish and Wildlife Board for 6 years. In a letter, Ferguson rescinded the appointments and asked the Senate not to take up confirmation hearings. His office says this will allow the incoming governor to make his own selections. Senator Shelley Short, who sits on the Senate committee that would consider the appointments, says it's Ferguson's prerogative to appoint his own commissioners. The 9-member board, now 2 members short, is scheduled to gather next week for its first meeting of 2025. Coming up next Saturday is the big night for the 10 young women hoping to become the next apple blossom queen. In tonight's feature story, we will introduce you to our final 2 candidates, Addie Sangster and Yasmin Perez. Light snow is possible tomorrow, and then get ready for much colder temperatures. I'll have your full local weather forecast coming up. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
What are the best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan?
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
you know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
Her Royal Highness, Queen Ella Stimo!
Join NCWLIFE channel for live coverage of the Apple Blossom Festival Royalty Selection Pageant on Saturday, February 8th. Coverage is brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Harvest Valley Pest Control, Merry Maids, Together for Youth, and the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. Join us for live coverage of the Apple Blossom Festival Royalty Selection Pageant on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.
Well, Saturday is the big night for 10 young women hoping to become the next Apple Blossom Queen. Starting at 7 p.m., the royalty selection pageant will choose who presides over the 2025 Washington State Apple Blossom Festival, and NCWLIFE will bring you the whole event live. Eric Granstrom interviewed all 10 pageant hopefuls. In tonight's feature story, meet Addie Sangster and Yasmin Perez.
So I go to Wenatchee High School. I turn 18 next month. I want to be an oncologist. That's my dream career. Maybe surgical, but I'm leaning towards medical. I have two shaky hands.
It's good to realize that now.
Yeah, exactly. My time management also is not very great, so that's a quality about me that I would like to improve.
Okay.
Same with my procrastination. And patience. I'm not a very patient person, so I feel like I couldn't be in the surgical room that long.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. It says you're on the team for anatomage?
Yes,
Is that it?
anatomage.
Okay,
yes.
all right. So what is that?
So the anatomage team, I participated with 3 other people, and so basically there's this like huge table, and it's not really a table. It's super expensive. It's like this, like interactive, kind of board.
Okay. Okay.
Screen, basically.
Okay.
And you there has like different modes, and you basically point out like body parts, which is what we did.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just like a huge,
So it's
like
a
medical,
really sophisticated game of operation.
basically, yes, exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
and so that's like basically what we did on the team.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So a pet, you have a pet?
I
do.
do.
You have a pet?
I do.
Okay, the name of the pet and what is it?
I have a dog. She is a yellow lab. Her
Okay.
name's Bella.
Bella.
And then I have 2 cats. I have Cooper, which is orange tabby, and then Gracie, she's a gray tabby.
Okay.
And at my dad's, I have a Cocker Spaniel.
So Addie, why did you decide to run for Apple Blossom?
Ooh, it was a long journey for me deciding this. When I was little, my sister did it. She was Princess Anissa, and I absolutely fell in love with like what she was doing. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna be queen one day. I was so confident. I was like, yeah, I'm totally doing this. And I just loved like everything about it. I don't know how you got to connect with your community. Obviously, when I was a little girl, I was like, I want the crown, I want the dress. But I saw how much fun she had. She got to do so many amazing things. So that kind of sparked my passion for it. Then I went along and I was like, I don't know if it's for me. I wasn't very good at public speaking before I started some of these clubs, and Apple Blossom has helped me a lot too, so much already. Yeah, I don't know, I went through a little time where I was like, I don't know if it's for me, I don't know if I'd be right for it, but I was like, I'm gonna do it, and if I get chosen, it's meant to be, and I'm ready for it.
I am a Running Star student. I go to Eastmont High School and WVC. That experience has been filled with so much fun, and Apple Blossom so far has been very fun too.
Why did you decide to run for Apple Blossom?
I decided to run honestly because like I had followed like the past royalty with all the events that they got to do. I'm like, oh, that looks like so much fun. Like I would love to do that. And honestly, I was very nervous. I was very iffy at first, but actually like my friends were encouraging me. And I was like, you know what, maybe I'll give it a try. If I make it, I make it, you know?
So how old were you when you first kind of went, oh wow, look at that? I mean,
I feel, because at a very young age, we would always go to the parade, and we have the same spot we would always sit every year. It was kind of next to, I can't even describe that, like I have the picture in my head, but we'd always be there, and as like a little girl, I would watch the princesses, the floats, the horses, like everything. It was so pretty, and just like being a little girl and seeing them in a dress is like, wow. That's a princess right there.
Sure.
That's so exciting.
What's your interest in dental work?
Yes, so I started job shadowing at the dental offices because I hope to hopefully one day become a dental hygienist. And with that, I did the job shadowing there just to get more, to see more one-on-one of how the patient and the dental hygienist interact. And I feel like with those experiences, I was able to see just how much of a community is not only within the workers themselves, but with the patient and the worker as well.
So did you have a good experience at the dentist, or do you know somebody that works in the hygienist field, or how did that become an interest for you?
Yeah, so I was thinking about the medical field. I was set on that. But I found myself every time I would go to the dentist, I was like, this is kind of cool. Like, I would love to do this. So then I did my research. I did some shadowing on my own just to see how it would be. And then I'm like, I knew it was for me just because of, like, I was learning, especially I feel like the dental offices I went to, they were the family dental. They're like a small, they're kind of close to the college, but I went to them and they were super sweet. Like, they're the reason I'm like, this is it, because they were just so helpful. I learned so much. They took the time to show me their models and what every little example was. It was really exciting.
What's your favorite hike in the Wenatchee Valley?
My favorite hike would have to be Silver Falls. It was one of the first hikes that I had. My aunt took me with my two aunts, my cousin and my sister, and it was so much fun. The view is actually beautiful if you guys haven't tried it.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you ended the week on a positive note. Weather-wise, the positive note, sunshine out there today, and what a gorgeous shot outside our weather window as we take you up to beautiful Lake Wenatchee. Just a crisp, clear shot up that way with a mix of some clouds and some blue sky, and that's basically what we saw here in the lower elevations in the valley as well, with increasing clouds throughout the afternoon. But as we make our way into Saturday, the reason we're seeing those increasing clouds, there is a chance for snowfall. Here we are over on the left side of your screen, 1 inch, and that is maybe 1 inch for Wenatchee tomorrow. Same goes for Moses Lake. But if you are traveling east, maybe into the panhandle of Idaho or maybe western Montana, you're going to run into the most snow there. Lookout Pass could see maybe 4 to 6 inches of snow as we get into Sunday morning. But one thing that we can almost guarantee, much colder temperatures as we make our way, especially into next week. Low 30s for Saturday into Sunday. Monday then 26. And look what happens to our low temperatures. 6 degrees overnight Tuesday and 7 degrees overnight as we get into Wednesday with high temperatures only in the low to mid 20s. So it's going to cool down. 31 this afternoon, our unofficial high temperature. 39 is where we should be for this time of year. How about this? 60 degrees, our record high set back in 2018. Boy, wouldn't that feel good right now. 21 our overnight low, 26 is our normal low, and our record is 3 degrees above zero, and that was set in 1969. Sunrise this morning, 7:18, and set this afternoon at 5:13. All right, taking a look at what we can expect for your Saturday. Not a lot of changes as far as temperature goes. We will see more clouds, as I mentioned, with the chance for snow. 33 in Moses Lake and Ephrata, 32 in Quincy, and then 29s from Wenatchee into Entiat and also for Chelan, 25 in Lake Wenatchee, and 28 degrees, the high temperature tomorrow up in Kashmir. All right, taking a look at our surface loop. This will give us a good idea why we're going to see that cool down. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies. The reason, this area of low pressure that's spinning clouds up into Washington State, still going to be chilly tonight with low temperatures somewhere in those upper teens for most of us. And then on Saturday, mostly cloudy, low pressure. We'll bring that clouds our way, and there's our 30% chance for snow on Saturday. Don't expect a lot if we see anything at all, with high temperatures tomorrow right around 30 degrees. For Super Bowl Sunday, partly cloudy and cool. Notice our airflow starting to come down from the northwest. That's a beginning of the cooling trend. High temperatures Sunday, again like Saturday, right around 30 degrees. And then the cooling trend begins on Monday. Mostly sunny skies. We will see high in the mid to upper 20s. The very cold air just east of the Continental Divide, so we're going to miss it once again, but we will get chilly. Tuesday, sunny and cool. High temperatures only in the mid 20s with lows Tuesday night in the single numbers. And as we get you into Wednesday, not much is going to change except a good chance for snow as we get into Wednesday night. High clouds out there, and there's our next weather maker off the California coast, bringing a cloud shield into us on Wednesday. Highs only in the low to mid 20s for your afternoon temperatures on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, that low sucks right into the southwestern part of Washington State. And there we go. Snow showers statewide as we get into Thursday. And we're going to stay on the cool side too, with highs Thursday in the mid 20s. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast. forecast. 17 overnight tonight, mostly to partly cloudy skies for Saturday and Sunday. A very slim chance for snow tomorrow. 29s both days this weekend. Mostly sunny skies for Monday and Tuesday, but notice the cooling trend. 26 Monday, 24 on Tuesday, 23 is all the high as we get into Wednesday, and then a good chance for snow as we get to Thursday with a high temperature then of 24 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Her Royal Highness, Queen Ella Stimo!
Join NCWLIFE channel for live coverage of the Apple Blossom Festival Royalty Selection Pageant on Saturday, February 8th. Coverage is brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Harvest Valley Pest Control, Merry Maids, Together for Youth, and the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. Join us for live coverage of the Apple Blossom Festival Royalty Selection Pageant on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel. Happy Finally Friday. The culmination of the NFL season is this weekend in New Orleans. Super Bowl 59 will feature the 17-3 Philadelphia Eagles and the 17-2 Kansas City Chiefs. KC's trying to become the first team in NFL history to win 3 Super Bowls back-to-back-to-back. Kickoff Sunday set for 3:30. That'll be on Fox. Seattle Kraken lost for a 3rd straight game at home last night to Toronto. 3-1 the final. Maple Leafs earned an early 3-0 lead before Eeli Tolvanen salvaged Seattle's lone goal of the game. Goalie Joey Decord stopped 27 of 30 shots on goal. Seattle heads for Calgary tomorrow to face the Flames for the 2nd time in a week. It'll be at 7 o'clock on King 5 and Kong TV. Eastern Washington Eagles and Bulldogs were victorious in men's college basketball last night. Eastern Washington edged Sacramento State 83-80, while Gonzaga blew out Loyola Marymount 73-53. Washington State came up short against Oregon State, falling 82-74. Eastern's back at home tomorrow against Portland State at 2 o'clock. Washington State hosts Pepperdine at 3. Gonzaga visits Pacific at 5. All those games are available on ESPN+. Washington hosts Northwestern tomorrow night at 7:30. That's on the Big Ten Network. In women's college basketball last night, Eastern Washington beat Sacramento State 68-53. Gonzaga got by St. Mary's 69-58. Coming up 3 games tomorrow at 2 o'clock on ESPN+. TCU hosts Texas Tech. Eastern Washington plays at Portland State. Gonzaga hosts Washington State. Washington will host number 16 Maryland. That'll be Sunday at 1 o'clock on the Big Ten Plus Network. Checking some playoff basketball scores from the prep ranks last night. The Omak boys down Cascade 69-36 in the Caribou Trail League tournament. Liberty Bell beat Brewster in the Central Washington 2B League tournament 74-56 the final there. Tonasket topped Manson 68-52. Regular season action last night. Pateras down Cascade Christian 53-46. The girls postseason also got underway last night with Cascade beating Omak 58-42. Lake Roosevelt edged Liberty Bell 49-41. Tonasket down Manson 53-38. In regular season action, Moses Lake Christian beat Easton 44-19. Prep girls scheduled tonight. Eastmont is hosting Moses Lake. Wenatchee visits Eisenhower. Ephrata takes on Toppenish. Entiet's at Oroville. Waterville Mansfield hosts Wilson Creek. The boys schedule exactly the same with different start times. Eastmont and Moses Lake tip at 7, while Wenatchee's at Eisenhower and Toppenish is at Ephrata. 7:30 games have Entiet at Oroville, while Waterville Mansfield is hosting Wilson Creek. Now, coming up tomorrow, CTL tournaments wrap up in Chelan with the Lady Goats facing Cascade at 2 o'clock. Central Washington 2B tournament heads for Omak High School, where Lake Roosevelt faces Okanagan at 2 with the tournament, and Brewster, Tonasket to follow at 5 o'clock. Regular season play, Eastmont visits Sunnyside at 4:30, while Wenatchee hosts West Valley, and Moses Lake welcomes Davis. Boys schedule as Central Washington 2B tournament starts at 3:30 with Liberty Bell facing Okanagan. That's followed at 6:30 with Tonasket taking on Lake Roosevelt. The boys CTL title features Omak and Chelan at 3:45. Regular season finales for the Big Nine. Eastmont's at Sunnyside. Wenatchee hosts West Valley, and Davis is at Moses Lake. All those games start at 6 o'clock. The district wrestling tournament time for many schools in our region. That's right. Omak hosting the first day of the District 5 1A, 2B, 1B tournament today. Day 2 will be at Okanagan tomorrow morning starting at 10 o'clock. District 5 4A tournament, Eastmont, Moses Lake, and Wenatchee all at West Valley tomorrow starting at 11. Cashmere wrestlers are at the SCAC championships. That's tomorrow in Connell starting at 11 o'clock. Well, big thanks to Deborah De La Mora. She gave us a heads up on some district boys swimming from yesterday. Eastmont and Wenatchee swimmers finished 1, 2, 3, 4 yesterday. Congrats to Eastmont's Hudson Hamilton and Jacob Winter Russell for finishing first and second. Wenatchee's Isaiah Sanchez and Gunnar Anderson were third and fourth. Wenatchee Wild continue playing WHL games north of the border this weekend. Wenatchee visits the Regina Pats tonight at 6 o'clock. Swift Current Broncos host the Wild tomorrow at 6. You can hear the action locally on radio 560 KPQ with our buddy Austin Drive. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy weekend.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at NCWLIFE.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great weekend.